Good morning, boys and girls. All right. So, where we last left off, um, we hear them talking about running outside in the snow, and it seems as if something happens, but we're kind of in the middle of it. You're just getting different perspectives. So, let's hear more of these perspectives, and then maybe we'll figure out what happened outside when they went for their free day out. All right, I'll start with Jessica. As we always do, Act 8, Scene 1. You could hear our big, heavy snow boots thumping down the sidewalk until we turned the corner and dashed onto the field. A monstrous hill of snow loomed right in the middle. Naturally, we all sprinted toward it and clambered to the top. Then we jumped, taking a plunge into waist-deep, powdery white. Didn't take long before the boys started taking each other down. Peter seized the opportunity and sent Alexia flying down the side of the mountain. She landed on her back, all splayed out. Peter laughed and ran. Alexia sat up, and I could tell how mad she was by the lines in her contorted face. Suddenly, I thought of a way to get Peter. He wouldn't expect me. He'd be keeping his eyes on Alexa, expecting her to retaliate. I collared Danielle and Anna. Here's what we're going to do, I said. It wasn't a suggestion, more like I simply told them how my ingenious plan would be executed. Act 8, Scene 2. We hid behind the mountain of snow. Peter came running toward us and scampered right up the side. While Peter stood on top, like the king of all dorks, we snuck up the back side of the hill. Danielle threw her shoulder into Peter, knocking him off balance. He wavered. I blasted him with my shoulder, coming from the opposite direction. Anna gave the last little nudge from behind. The 1, 2, 3 punch was too much for Peter to handle. He squawked like a dying seagull as he flailed through the air, landing face down. Alexia ran over and kicked snow in his face the instant he picked his head up. Danielle, Anna, and I had just reached the other mound when we turned around and saw Peter fire the snowball. Luke. On to Luke. Wonder what he's seeing going down. Alexia kicked snow in Peter's face. He gripped and whined as he sat up to wipe the snow from his eyes. Let's get him, Lukester, Jeffrey said. I felt a couple of snipers, dollar word, sizing up our target. Jeffrey slid down the smaller mound, hurried across the snow, and shoved Peter's face back into the white powder. Peter never saw it coming, and Jeffrey was long gone by the time Peter sat up to wipe his face again. Then that was when I attacked. I blasted him from behind, knocking him down, and held his face in the snow extra long. The reversal, dollar word, of typical roles, with me being the victor, felt awesome. It was one of the greatest upsets, dollar word, of all time. My victory celebration lasted only a second, though, before everything was shattered. I wonder what happened. Now we're on to Jeffrey. Now we got some short chapters coming up here. Peter had it coming. I got him good, and so did Lukester. They say all's fair in war. Peter's not a crybaby, but all of us ganging up on him was too much. He got crazy upset and chucked that ice ball. Anna, I didn't want anyone to get hurt. Danielle, why did I go along with Jessica's plan? I could have said no. It was supposed to be fun. We were all getting pushed into the snow. Peter would have knocked any of us down. He's always fooling around. It was supposed to be funny. How could it turn out so bad? Act 8, Scene 3. I don't think any of us were malicious in our attacks on Peter. It was the sudden onslaught that made him throw that snowball. We didn't know, and I stared at it. I was running from Peter, so I didn't actually see it. I saw something else, the twisted, dollar word, faces of Danielle and Anna and Jessica. Peter. I didn't know Peter. I didn't know Mr. T was going to be right there. Danielle, Mr. Turrup stood up right in the way. Jessica, I still remember Alexia's scream, piercing, horrified. Peter, I didn't want to hurt anyone. Luke, Mr. Turrup should have stopped us. He let it get too far. Peter, I wish I could take it back. I didn't mean to throw it. Anna, please let my teacher be okay. And Danielle, dear God, it's Danielle. I really need you down here. Mr. Turrup needs you. And that is the end of part 1. And we will start part 2 next time. All right, so I want you to think what happened in this, I'm not going to say chapter because it was multiple characters and everything, but give it some thought and we'll talk about it. All right, till next time.